There are a lot of areas of interest I could cover within my presentation. Jansson led a captivating career in both illustration and writing. She had a keen interest in the fine arts, notably painting. Her career was evidently overshadowed by her Moomin creations. The characters in her newspaper publications embodied its overbearing obligations by its increasing sizes and attitudes within the narrative. As seen in London's The Evening News' publication, we find our Moomin character uninclined to produce work in the name of fame and fortune. It retreats within its mass, hiding its eyes under its large hat and exiting off the panel to the right, humorously walking off the edge of a cliff, a subtle suggestion that has fairly profound implications. To me, I see it as Tove's wish for her time with the Moomins to end. Note also the peripheral character that seems adorned with the Moomin and imitates his actions. And peripheral characters play quite a large part in Tove's narratives and an ongoing theme. She was heavily expressive of social philosophies and personal work and experiences through her work. Narratives often conveying ideas of existence, personal expression, individuality, travel and adventure. Peripheral characters playing a pivotal part with sometimes opposing personality traits that can often create difficulties and boundaries between the characters, but they all play their own roles and have their individual reasonings, which underlines the importance of tolerance and understanding. All this is wrapped up caringly in playful story arcs and subtle dark humour that has the ability to capture audiences of all ages. Her influences clearly stem from personal experience. Jansson's style contains so many similarities to that of her mother's. The delicately endearing line work and prominent use of reds and yellows were generously inherited from her. Um, Her brother also stated in an interview on BBC how she used to sit on her mother's lap whilst her mother worked and drew along. Here we can see the prominent use of reds and yellows. This is a publication by her mother. I'm not sure on the date. Here we see Jansson's first publication, and her love for publications and magazines from a young age pushed her to make this publication by the age of 13. She presented work to publishers, eventually land employment with Garm by 18, where she would produce what I would say was some of her most politically impressive pieces that deserve recognition for her humorous anti-fascist illustrations. They depicted the political landscape of Finland during the 30s and 40s, the imposing influences of Hitler and Nazi fascism in the West and Stalin's communism to the East. She conveyed her distaste for the ideologies and leaders through comedy. Stalin often depicted as inept and shortcoming, and Hitler greedy and childish, likely to a spoiled brat. In this particular cover, Hitler is ransacking the food and wealth and scurrying away. We see her simplistic style manifesting itself in a professional manner, her line work becoming far more refined with her imposing colours and use of white space, the clever use of the Nazis' insignias red overflowing into the setting, and a potential symbolism for fascism spread throughout Europe. Here we see further development of her palette with the publication Comet in Moomieland in 1946. More strong reds and yellows contrasted by white and blue gives a strong indication of movement and heat within the composition. Narrative follows the Moomin trolls and their companions along an adventure in which they must figure out how to stop a comet hitting Moominland. Throughout they embark on separate tasks for characters they meet along the way, and eventually the comet strikes past Moominland narrowly missing, which opens a dialogue on the finiteness of existence between the Moomins, which is quite a heavy conversation for a children's book. Kitty Crowther is an excellent example of how Jansson's style has inspired illustrators in the present. Her palette shows similarities to that of Tove's, with more developed in her own palette. Her repetitive line work and to resemble water and texture. The designs of characters have a faint likeness, and she uses white space similarly to that of Jansson. And it's not hard to be inspired by Tove Jansson's work. There is something for everyone to take from it: the humour, the philosophies, the adventures, and it's inclusive of all audience, and has a wide range of themes noted here. Here is my development for my response piece, and I'm going to create a small narrative similar to that of Tove's, with a main character, which in this one is an inanimate object, and then smaller peripheral characters being the birds. And I wanted the narrative to be quite playful, and also scarecrows and birds aren't the best of friends, and I thought it would be playful to sort of, have them getting along. But yeah, here's the initial sketches, and this is what I'm going to be working on.